He woke up and saw Jagadguru Shiva Chandrasekhar Bharati Mahaswamigal sitting by his side. He rose up and fell at his feet. And this is what Acharya conveyed. Bhagavan Shiva prompted me to wake you up now. And if you don't wake up now, Bhagavan Shiva uttered a caution. He will go into an irretrievable state of tapas and remain in this state till he dismantles his mortal coil. So go and retrieve him. And said, please don't leave me. Don't leave this Peetam. Don't leave this Sishyas. Regulate your Samadhi henceforth. It's a promise you have to give it to me. And 55 years he held that promise. It is this Jeshta Mahasannidhanam who has given to us Shri Mahasannidhanam. And let's continue tomorrow with the Divya Jananam of Shri Mahasannidhanam. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara.
மக்கள் துயர் தீரும் நேரம் வரும். அன்று தாமாகவே காலம் கனிந்து வரும். நமக்கானது நம்மை நோக்கி வரும்.
ग्राभेणाधरागुम् इन्द्रो मेलिग्राभेणाधरागुम् अकः उद्ग्राभम् च निग्राभम् च ब्रह्मदेवा अविवृधन् अथा सपत्नानिन्द्राग्ने मे विशोचीनाम् यस्यताम् हरिः ओम्
ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಶಂಕರ ಸ್ತೋತ್ರ ಗಾಯನ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಶ್ರೀಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಮತ್ತು ತಂಡದವರು.
ದಂಡಕಮಂಡಲು ಮಂಡಿತಪಾಣಿಂ ದಂಡಕಮಂಡಲು ಮಂಡಿತಪಾಣಿಂ ಪಂಡಿತಪಾಮರ ವಂದಿತಪಾದಂ ಶಂಕರಮಾಶ್ರಿತ ಜನಮಂದಾರಂ ಶಂಕರಮಾಶ್ರಿತ ಜನಮಂದಾರಂ ಶಂಕರಮಾಶ್ರಿತ ಜನ ಮಂದಾರಂ ಕಿಂಕರ ಭಾರತೀ ತೀರ್ಥ ಸುಸೇವ್ಯಂ ಶಂಕರಮಾಶ್ರಿತ ಜನ ಮಂದಾರಂ ಕಿಂಕರ ಭಾರತೀ ತೀರ್ಥ ಸುಸೇವ್ಯಂ ಭಜರೆ ಲೋಕಗುರುಂ ಮನೂಜ ಭಜರೆ ಲೋಕಗುರುಂ ಮನೂಜ ಭಜರೆ ಲೋಕಗುರುಂ ಭಜರೆ ಲೋಕಗುರುಂ ಭಜರೆ ಲೋಕಗುರುಂ जगद्गुरो श्रीशङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक शङ्करा जगद्गुरो श्रीशङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक शङ्करा विरागी पूजित शङ्करा विभूतिभूषित शङ्करा विरागी पूजित शङ्करा विभूतिभूषित शङ्करा भाष्यकार श्रीशङ्करा भद्रप्रदायक शङ्करा भाष्यकार श्रीशङ्करा भद्रप्रदायक शङ्करा जगद्गुरो श्रीशङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक शङ्करा जगद्गुरो श्रीशङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक शङ्करा सद्गुरुमूर्ते शङ्करा सङ्कटवारक शङ्करा सद्गुरुमूर्ते शङ्करा सङ्कटवारक शङ्करा शिवावतारा शङ्करा शिष्यहितङ्कर शङ्करा शिवावतारा शङ्करा शिष्यहितङ्कर शङ्करा शिवावतारा शङ्करा शिष्यहितङ्कर शङ्करा शिवावतारा शङ्करा शिष्यहितङ्कर शङ्करा जगद्गुरो श्रीशङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक शङ्करा जगद्गुरो श्रीशङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक शङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक शङ्करा मुक्तिप्रदायक पिङ्गलाभिधानहायने गृहीतजन्मनः सर्वमङ्गला सहायपादसेवने रतान् श्रीशिवाभिनवनिसिंह भारती गुरुत्तमान् भावयामि भक्तिपूर्णचेतसा निरन्तरं भावयामि भक्तिपूर्ण चेतसा निरन्तरम् सर्वबोधकान् धर्मजिग्रहे रतान् शर्मदान तत्परान् शेष भक्तकोटये श्रीशिवाभिनव नृसिंह भारती गुरुत्तमान् शीलयामि सन्ततं शिवेतरापनुत्तये शीलयामि सन्ततं शिवेतरापनुत्तये स्वीयपादपां सुपाविताखिलक्षमातलान् स्वप्रकाशनिविष्टमानसाननारतं श्रीशिवाभिनव नृसिंह भारती जगद्गुरून् सादरं नमामि सर्वलोकरक्षणव्रतान् सादरं नमामि सर्वलोकरक्षणव्रतान् वेदशास्त्रसम्प्रदाय पालने धृतव्रतान् विद्वदालिगीयमान पाण्डिती विभूषितान् श्रीशिवाभिनव नृसिंह भारती गुरुतमान् चिन्तयामि शिष्यहृत्तमो विवस्वतो निशम् चिन्तयामि शिष्यहृत्तमो विवस्वतो निशम् दम्भदर्पवर्जितान् अशेषलोकवन्दितान् कुम्भजन्मनः समस्तवेदशास्त्रवारिधेः श्रीशिवाभिनव नृसिंह भारती यतीश्वरान् संस्मरामि संयमीन्द्रसेव्यपादपङ्कजा संस्मरामि संयमीन्द्रसेव्यपादपङ्कजा भूमिपालवन्दितान् अपूर्ववाग्झरीयुतान् कामितेष्टदायकान् प्रपन्नलोकपङ्क्तये श्रीशिवाभिनव नृसिंह भारती गुरुत्तमान् भावयामि भद्रपूगदायि दिव्यवीक्षणान् भावयामि भद्रपूगदायि दिव्यवीक्षणान् शारदा शशाङ्कमौलिविघ्नराजपूजकान् शारदेन्दुतुल्य कीर्तिशालिनः शिवङ्करान् श्रीशिवाभिनव नृसिंह भारती जगद्गुरून् शीलयामि शान्तिदान्तिमुख्यसम्पदाप्तये शीलयामि
ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಅವಧಿಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಳಿತಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಗುರುಸೇವಾನಿರತ ಶ್ರೀ ಪಿ ಎ ಮುರಳಿಯವರು ಕೆಲವು ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂತ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್, ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟರ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಸೇವಾನಿರತ ಪಿ ಎ ಮುರಳಿ ಟು ಸೇ ಫ್ಯೂ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್.
ಸದಾಶಿವ ಸಮಾರಂಭಾಂ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಮಧ್ಯಮಾಂ ಅಸ್ಮದಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಪರ್ಯಂತಂ ವಂದೇ ಗುರು ಪರಂಪರಾಂ. ವಿವೇಕಿನಂ ಮಹಾಪ್ರಜ್ಞಂ ಧೈರ್ಯೋದಾರಿಕ್ಷಮಾಣಿದಂ ಸದಾಭಿನವಪೂರ್ವಂತಂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಂ ಗುರುಂ. ಭಾರತೀ ಕರುಣಾಪಾತ್ರಂ ಭಾರತೀ ಪದಭೂಷಣಂ ಭಾರತೀ ಪದಮಾರುಢಂ ಭಾರತೀ ತೀರ್ಥಮಾಶ್ರೇ ವಿದ್ಯಾವಿನಯ ಸಂಪನ್ನಂ ವೇದರಾಗಂ ವಿವೇಕಿನಂ ವಂದೇ ವೇದಾಂತ ತತ್ವಜ್ಞಂ ವಿಧಿಶೇಖರ ಭಾರತಿ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. You must be wondering why I am here today, like a speed breaker. I won't be for the next 5 days, but something which occurred to me yesterday, I thought I use this platform to inform viewers. It was a beautiful exposition yesterday by Guru Bhakta Mani, Sri Venkataraman. What stumped me initially was when he started the discourse with the word Punya Bhumi Sringeri. Because the title given to this Saptaham was Jagadguru Namanam by srisankaratv. And he used the title Punya Bhumi Sringeri given by srisankaratv for another program that we had started under the aegis of this Swarna Bharati Mahotsav, which was a project which was conceived and conceptualized by our Jagadguru, and it was in the making for almost 2 years, and which fructified into something real in the last about couple of weeks. The way Guru Bhakta Mani, Sri Venkataraman took they beautifully connecting Sringeri and Kashmir and Sringeri and Ayodhya, and then walking us through various Jagadgurus, fell in place in terms of what he wanted to do over the next 5 days. But Punya Bhumi Sringeri was also a concept that was conceptualized by our Jagadguru to be a 20-minute per day discourse by select scholars over the next couple of years maybe. And the direction given by srisankaratv to those scholars were exactly the same as Sri Venkataraman took us through yesterday, starting from Vibhandaka Maharishi to our own Pratiksha Bhagavan, Sri Mahasannidhanam, wherein he has left it to the skills of the scholars to intertwine Puranas, etc., over this period of next 1 or 2 years, when they will take us through the entire Guru Parampara, starting from Vibhandaka Maharishi to Sri Mahasannidhanam. We started that in our YouTube channel, where Sri K.L. Srinivasan does it in Kannada, Mr. Lalit Aditya Gannavaram does it in Telugu and English, and Sri Muralidhara Sharma does it in Tamil, or alternate days over the week. But starting on the 24th of this month, Sri Sankara TV has accepted to start that series in the prime time, as they call it, the Anmiga prime time in the morning. They said it's between 7 and 8. And at my request, they were accepted to do it between 7:30 and 8 every morning. 20 minutes of this discourse on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of 4 languages, that is Kannada, Telugu, English, and Tamil. And the 5th day will be just, every day it will be 20 minutes of this discourse and 10 minutes of Vijay Yatra of Sri Sannidhanam over last few years, which is continuing. And Friday would be 30 minutes of Vijay Yatra. That's how it's going to start from the 24th of this month. So I thought I'll take this platform to inform all the viewers here and whoever is watching over the digital media that on the 24th onwards you'll get to see it in SANKARA TV also. For those who are fortunate to have assembled here, having a blissful week, I think, because in the morning there is Vedanta Shravana and in the evening there is Jagadguru Namanam. And I'm sure, you're all getting enlightened by the minute. So I don't want to be a speed breaker like this over the next 5 days. I just wanted to inform you all about this Punya Bhumi Sringeri program that's been started about a couple of weeks back, and that will come into the satellite TV also starting on 24th. Thank you. Over to Shri and Venkataraman.
माला सुधा कुंभ विबोध मुद्रा विद्या विराजत करवारिजाता अपार कारुण्य सुधांबुराशिं श्री शारदांबां प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं शंकारूपेण मर्चित्तं पंकीकृतमबोध्यया किंकरीय सामाज्या शंकराचार्यमाश्रये प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यं तं नृसिंह गुरुं भजे श्री सच्चिदानंद शिवाभिनव्य नृसिंह भारत्यपितान् यतीन्द्रान् विद्यानितीन् मन्त्रनितीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे मानव शम्भुरूपान् सदात्मज्ञाननिरतं विषयेभ्यः परान्मुखं नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखरभारतीं विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्योदारक्षमानिधिं सदाभिनवपूर्वं तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे भारती करुणापात्रं भारती पदभूषणं भारती पदमारूढं भारती तीर्थमाश्रये विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विदुशेखरभारतीम् Offer this humble talk at the lotus feet of our revered Jeshta Mahasannidhanam, Jagadguru Srimad Abhinav Vidyatita Mahaswamigal, our revered Shri Mahasannidhanam, Jagadguru Shri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamigal, and our revered Sannidhanam, Jagadguru Shri Vidushekara Bharati Mahaswamigal. Jagadguru Namanam, Day 2. Namaskarams to each one of you here and those who are watching this program from different locations. Yesterday, we closed the first day session by narrating the incident that happened in the divine life of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam as he went into possibly an irretrievable tapas, and how Lord Shiva directed Jagadguru Srimad Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal to go and wake him up, so that the purpose for which he was brought into the Pita gets served for the next 55 years. Let's recall what Mata Sharada said to Acharya on 21st May 1931. Follow your Guru. Kings and nobles will fall at your feet. The third, don't lose yourself. So, the grammatical understanding could be, don't lose yourself, don't get distracted. But this caution was uttered by Mata 4.5 years before. In May 1931, when Acharya became a Jivan Mukta on 12th December 1935, 3-4 days later, this incident happened. So, every Acharya of this Peetham is enveloped, is handheld, carried forward by the divine grace of Mata Sharada and Bhagavad-pada Shankara and the lineage of Gurus of the Avichinna Guru Parampara who had preceded them. It is in this background we are stepping into a very, very historic moment, the Divya Jananam of our Sri Mahasannidhanam. Before the end of the 10th year of Acharya, certain very critical incidents happened in his life, indicative of the fact that this child born in this universe is a child for the universe, a child to spearhead the cause of Sanatana Dharma for decades, a child who will be revered, worshipped as a Jagadguru. Their divine parents, Tangarila Venkateshwara Avadanigal and Mata Ananta Lakshmamma. See how Sri Sannidhanam portrays Ananta Lakshmamma. He doesn't say as Ananta Lakshmamma. Acharya addresses her as Ananta Lakshmamba, like Aryamba. So we should also address that Punyavati only as Ananta Lakshmamba. And would like to narrate a personal incident which me and my wife witnessed when we went there to offer our pranams to her few years before her demise, when she was staying in Shankarkripa. It was a Krishna Jayanti Janmashtami Dinam. We went there around 3:34. She was immobile at that time, virtually immobile. Her legs stretched, squatting on the floor. We see a beautiful Krishna picture placed leaning over the wall. Sandanam, Kungumam, with a small flower, with a pinch of butter on the divine lips of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and she is making tattai, chidai, murukku one after the other. and spreading all the utensils and all the necessary auxiliaries for the preparation at her hand's reach, like a jaladarangam around her. So weak, so immobile. So when both of us asked, are you able to do this? She gave a reply, Krishnar varuvare, Krishnar kepare, Bhagavan will come, he will ask. So how does it matter whether I can do it or not do it? We should do it. This is Mata Ananta Lakshmamba. And that's why God chose her to be the Divine Mother of Shri Mahasannidhanam. The successive events that happened in 3 places. One is Alugamelluppadu, the first village. Next is Machilipatnam, and third is Narsuravpet. After which Acharya went to Vijayawada, Darshan of Narsuravpet, went to Ujjaini, and from 1968 Acharya stayed back in Sringeri. That's his world. When Avadanigal and Ananta Lakshmamba delivered 2 daughters first, Avadanigal prayed for a male progeny in his family. So the first divine turnaround was, it was not a mere prayer. He chose to perform 1 full year, 365 days, Abhishekam to the Shivalinga in his village, Bhavani Shankara, bathing every morning in the holy river, performing Mahanyasa Japam, followed by Rudrabhishekam to Bhavani Shankara for 1 full year. See, when divinity is to be born, it will precede such divine signs in this world. The first symptom is to show that it's going to be, because what has Bhagavatpada Shankara has said in Matamnaya Mahasasanam, I will be the one who heads this Peetam every time. In different forms. It is I who exist. And who is Bhagavatpada Shankara? Sakshat Parameshwara. Where is the doubt? So every Acharya is nothing but a Shankara, nothing but a Parameshwara, and the first seed of which is sown by the performance of Rudrabhishekam for 1 full year to Bhavani Shankara. By which time the family shifts to Machilipatnam. After worshipping Bhagavan Parameshwara, now the family worships Bhagavan Sri Rama during the Vasanta Navaratri. And both Avadanigal and Ananta Lakshmamba promises before the deity that the son to be born will be named as Sitarama by Avadanigal and Anjaneyulu by Lakshmana. The third striking event is when Mata Ananta Lakshmamba was asleep, Bhagavan Anjaneya appeared in her dream early in the morning, offering 3 mangoes as a prasadam and blessing her with a divine child. See, this should have happened in 1950 because Acharya was born in 1951. After almost 69 years, in 2019, when that very birthplace at Machilipatnam, at the direction of Sri Sannidhanam was to be renovated as a branch mutt of the Sringeri Sharada Peetham. The excavation work commenced in that very holy birthplace of Sri Mahasannidhanam. And to the utter shock of everybody, shock in the sense, a pleasant shock to everybody, it was discovered in that very place a solid vigraham of Bhagavan Anjaneya there. So it's just not a dream. When we said about the dream that Jeshta Mahasannidhanam had 7 consecutive nights through Bhagavan Sri Shiva, the book says how this is, why this is true and how this is true, and cites an example from Mahabharata. When Bhagavan Parameshwara gave the Pashupatastram to Arjuna and taught him how to do it, Arjuna forgot it over a period of time. And there was a time set to kill Jayadratha in a particular way, and it can be done only by using the Pashupatastram. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the previous night, took Arjuna to Shivaloka through the aerial route, eulogized Bhagavan Shiva and requested him to guide Arjuna one more time in handling the Pashupatastram. And it happened in a dream, records Mahabharata by Bhagavan Vedavyasa. Therefore, divine dreams leading to divine outcomes are not just dreams. They are realities shown to the respective individuals in advance in a very discreet way. That's how a modern mind can possibly understand these happenings. So, when this was dug, they found the statue of Hanuman. And that's why Acharya went and performed the Sri Sannidhanam in his tour, went and performed Kumbhabhishekam to that very holy idol in Machilipatnam. It is in this divine backdrop our Sri Mahasannidhanam emerged to fulfill divine objectives in this universe on 11/4/1951. Chaitriya Sashti, Mrigashirsha Nakshatram. And the child started to indicate that it's an unusual divine child, even at the age of 3. And 2 instances are reported to show this indication, or rather 3 instances. One fine day in the morning, Mata Anantalakshmamba sees an orange orb over the face of Acharya when he was 3 years old, glittering and slowly vanishing after a few minutes. The child one day was crying, unstoppable it was. They just couldn't stop the child from crying. And they therefore took the child to the nearest temple. Child sat there, put his arms together and started to chant Shambho Shiva Shiva on its own. Instantaneously the cry stopped the moment the child was taken to the Shiva temple. And the third incident which happened was, it's even more interesting. I think it was a precursor or a trial run to the family that Acharya is capable of giving a slip to the family and disappear one day, which Acharya indicated the 3 years old. One fine day he was not seen in the house. So there was a frantic search. Where has he gone? And quietly Acharya slips into the Hanuman temple and is piously chanting Shambho Shiva Shiva, Shambho Shiva Shiva. The next set of turnaround was Acharya started to learn Sanskrit along with his sister and gained proficiency so effortlessly and so easily, because it is this which became the passport for Acharya to reach the Mahapurusha Jeshta Mahasannidhanam. So, what happened? Before he goes, the Upanayanam gets performed at the age of 7, and his father becomes the Vidya Guru. And interestingly, Acharya started to learn Vedas under him. He ensured that the Nitya Puja in the house is not missed even for a single day. In case Avadanigal goes out for Vritti, Acharya will conduct the puja and complete it. And inspiring saint records that when Acharya was only 10 years old, Avadanigal took a commitment to perform an Upanayanam, and he couldn't do it on that day because he had to go somewhere else. Acharya went and did the Upanayanam ceremony for that boy when he was 10 years old. In fact, the book writes how fortunate that person should have been, having been performed Upanayanam by a future Jagadguru of this universe. So, when he started to learn Sanskrit, he became extremely proficient. Acharya, Jeshta Mahasannidhanam, and what is the connecting bridge? The connecting bridge was Matrubhasha Sanskrit. That was the connecting bridge. How? In fact, Sri Sannidhanam in 15 videos, between 10 minutes and 15 minutes, had portrayed the 11 attributes or requisites of a Mahapurusha or a Sadguru. Because one may ask a question, we see India is replete with gurus. How do we identify who is a Sadguru and who is not? Scriptures therefore prescribe 11 attribute test. One who has these 11 qualities is a Mahapurusha. And Sri Sannidhanam has given 15 such videos, which we were sharing to people who are known to us from June 1st to June 15th, before we started this Jagadguru Namanam of Saptaham for 7 days. It ended on 15th and we started it on the 16th. So these 15 videos portray the 11 qualities. And for somebody to be blessed or acquire these 11 qualities, somebody has to reach a Mahapurusha. This does not stem out on its own. Without a guru, this is not possible. And therefore, Acharya, quoting from the Vivekachudamani, says, human birth is a rarity. Longing for salvation, still more rare. And finding a Mahapurusha who can give you or emancipate, the rarest. And says, even the first two may become achievable. But attaining a Mahapurusha for salvation is simply an impossibility unless one is showered with divine grace. Surrendering to a Mahapurusha, a Jiva surrendering to a Mahapurusha is a Jiva surrendering to Brahman. And this can happen only through divine grace. It cannot happen in any, there is no second option available, says Acharya. And why? Why is it so important? Acharya says, unless you know to meditate on Brahman, you cannot achieve that blissful state. And one cannot get into the framework of such a state without the guidance of a guru who is himself a Jivan Mukta. Only an emancipated soul can emancipate one more soul and make that soul virtually him. And therefore, surrendering to a Mahapurusha is rarest of the blessings which Shri Mahasannidhanam got it at a very, very, very early age in his life. When Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam was camping at Vijayawada, his teacher Subramanya Shastrigal took Acharya to Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. So the first introduction, first meeting of the Jivan Mukta. And Acharya started to converse in Sanskrit. That's the passport. At that young age, Acharya was blessed with a silk shawl by the mutt under the divine guidance of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. First meeting. This happened in Vijayawada. Then, in the same yatra, Acharya came to Narsaraopet. Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam visited Narsaraopet. When Acharya visited Narsaraopet, Shivarama Shastrigal, his Sanskrit teacher, handheld Acharya and took him to Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, and they started to converse in Sanskrit for the second time. How precious and important Sanskrit language is emphasized, reiterated again and again in the life of Sri Mahasannidhanam. So they converse in Sanskrit. And the first spiritual transformation of the Mahapurusha's blessing, grace, fell on Sri Mahasannidhanam in this meeting, says inspiring saint. Three things happen. Acharya felt, Sri Mahasannidhanam felt, Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam is guiding him in accomplishing his task successfully. Whatever task he took, he could accomplish it successfully, and he attributed it to Acharya. He started to speak only about Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam to his friends. And whoever returned from Darshanam, he used to go and acquaint with them and want to know only about Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. This was the first major transformation happened by the very sight of the Mahapurusha on Sri Acharya. Then in 1966, in fact, the book further delineates to say there were a lot of changes happening internally in Sri Mahasannidhanam. He stopped eating outside. He stopped watching films, social, cultural, nothing. It was merely attending school in which he was always first class, number one distinction. Attending school, going to temples, reading the Vedas and reading Sanskrit. His life was just enveloped with these four and nothing beyond that. It is with this Acharya meets Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam for the third time in February 1966, again at Narsaraopet. And here the transformation, it gets completed. Sri Mahasannidhanam felt, he is the only Guru, he is my ultimate, he is the one who can give me salvation. That feeling, that thought process stemmed into him when he met for the third time Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam in 1966 February at Narsaraopet. The same year, Chaturmasyam was celebrated by Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam at Ujjain. One Vidyaranya Shastrigal decided to travel from Narsaraopet, going to Vijayawada and traveling to Ujjain. So Sri Mahasannidhanam came to know about this, and he virtually jumped into the train without informing his parents. Vidyaranya Shastrigal said, I won't take you. unless you inform your parents. The justification which Acharya gave was, I understand I should inform my parents, but when it comes to self-realization, there is an exception. I don't have to inform. I am now going for self-realization. Please take me with you. So out of sheer compulsion and the passion seeing this young boy of 11 years, 15 years, he took him to Ujjain. One gracious smile, nothing but just one gracious smile. And Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, you are the boy who spoke to me in Sanskrit. He said, I have come here to learn Shastras from you. Join the class tomorrow. He commences the class the very next day for Sri Mahasannidhanam. And the next 1.5 years, Acharya travels with Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. Not a day lessons were missed. Not a day. And as a part of the tour, they come down back to south and reach Vijayawada. Meanwhile, Acharya wrote to his parents that I am safe, don't search for me, I am only here. So the parents were happy that their child is finally only with an Acharya. So the parents came to Vijayawada and requested, can they take the child for 4 days to Narsaraopet? Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam said, 4 days, not more than that. You should come and hand him over back at Srisailam. And true, the family was so happy to receive their child back into the fold, but Acharya was completely detached. He either did not talk or talked in monosyllables. These are clear symptoms. So finally, they all reached Sringeri in 1968. And that's where the whole process commences. Acharya arranges a Tarka expert, a teacher, Gollapudi Gopalakrishna Sastrikal, as his teacher. And in his narration, in his own words, Sri Mahasannidhanam, in that 15 series episode, Vande Lokagurum, says very clearly, morning there will be lessons, evening there will be vichar, chintanam. So, morning you learn, and evening you discuss it with your teacher. When somebody sees it from a distance, they'll be wondering who is the teacher and who is the taught, the same day. Whatever is taught in the morning. This is the kind of expertise he could gain on Shastras then and there, automatic, effortlessly. So, when Acharya started to evolve in this manner, then the divine compassion of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam fell one more time on Acharya. Why do we say divine compassion? This is something which is of philosophical importance, which all of us should know. Because we all think compassion is trying to relieve somebody from some pain, trying to understand, empathize, whatever we suffer or they suffer, we know what it is and therefore how to mitigate their suffering. This is all we understand it as compassion. But for a Mahapurusha, the compassion is finding a struggling soul wanting salvation and extending that spiritual hand and guidance to that soul, promoting that jiva to become Brahman, is divine compassion. And here, when I refer to the book, yesterday we referred to the book, The Multifaceted Jivan Mukta. It's an encyclopedia on Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. Likewise, Mutt has released in this Vardhanti a book. It's a improvised text. It was there even 30 years ago. The Inspiring Saint, authored by Sri Suresh Chandar, meticulously. And now it looks to be that in this version there is a value add also by one Dr. Krishna. So this book captures certain important quotes and passages which needs to be referred here. It says, what is divine compassion? And it's better one reads exactly what it is rather than trying to capsulate it from our mind. In his celebrated commentary, Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada's Viveka Chudamani, Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamin explains the greatness of Guru's compassion. The Guru is an ocean of compassion that asks for no reason. He is the friend to the pure who makes obeisance to him. The Guru's compassion is unmotivated by anything else other than the urge to destroy the affliction of another. Some may strive to help people out of their mental distress only to get rid of the sense of pain that they themselves experience seeing the distress of others. To show that Guru's compassion is not of this kind, Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada uses the word ahitukka because of his Brahmajnana. No pain can touch him, whether the pain emanates from others or himself. His only desire is that man should cross the ocean of samsara, the dreadful cycle of births and deaths. This desire arises in him when he comes out of his samadhi to the world consciousness. Jagadguru Abhinava Vidyatita Mahaswamin's innate compassion was of this kind. This is why we celebrate the Peethadipatis here as Mahapurushas. They are Jivan Muktas and they can make their Sishyaya Jivan Mukta. And this divine compassion fell on Acharya. And what is the resultant output? After the Rathotsava in 1974, Navaratri, Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam steps into the sanctum sanctor of Mata Sharada, meditates for a few minutes, comes out and declares he is going to be the Sishya Swamihal, and the Sishya Swikaram will happen on 11th November 1974. Before which Acharya conveyed his expression also to their parents. It's not a question of consent, it's a conveyance that he is going to be the Sishya Swamigal of this Peeta. And it's very important that we also see and read, know what actually happened during those 2 days. It's so beautifully described. I'll just narrate it one after the other in sequence. But before that, we should also read one more passage. What sort of a brahmachari was Acharya before qualifying himself as a Sishya Swami? That is described beautifully in 5 sentences. The state of brahmacharyam in which Acharya was poised before taking to the ashrama dharma of a sannyasi. This is exactly what it says. The highest reward of man's toil is not what he gets for it, but what he becomes by it. Years of sincere study of Shastras, practice of austerities, burning dispassion, restraint of senses, control of mind, deep dedication to Dharma, exceptional erudition, innate compassion, and intense devotion to God, and the Guru has made Sri Anjaneyulu shine with divine brilliance. With the concurrence of Mata Sharadamba, the Jagadguru decided to grant sannyasa to Sri Anjaneyulu and ordain him as his successor designate. This is the qualities Acharya was endowed as a brahmachari before becoming the Sishya Swamigal of this Peeta. So, on 11th, the following things happened, 10th and 11th. I'll just read it in quick sequence. Prostrations before the Jagadguru. Purnahuti of the Ganapati Homam at Sharda temple. Offering pranams to Shakti Ganapati. Darshanam of Sharadamba and Adi Shankara and various temples. Return to the Adhishtanam and performing the Ashtashraddha. It also happened to be Jagadguru Srimad Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal's Jayanti. Therefore, night puja at Adhishtanam was performed by Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam and attended by the Brahmachari. And on 11/11/1974, Acharyal performed Sandhya Vandana, Purusha Shukta Homa and Brija Homa. Got into the Tunga river, performed the required rituals. Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam gave the saffron robe, the staff and the kamandalam. Guru and Sishya went on a procession to the Adhishtanam in the midst of Veda Parayanam. Pranava Upadesa, Mahavakya Upadesa and Yoga Patta at the Adhishtanam. Then they proceeded to the Sharada temple. Acharya was made to sit on the Vyakyana Simhasana. After Mangala Harati, Guru took his seat and Sishya worshipped the lotus feet of the Guru. The Yoga Pattam, Jagadguru Shri Bharati Tita Mahaswamigal was announced to the world. Acharyas went into the Shardambal temple, offered their prayers, went to Adi Shankara, went to Torana Ganapati, offered their prayers to the Padukas of the 32nd Acharya and returned to their holy abode. This is the whole set of rituals that happened in the next 2 days, 10th and 11th of 1974. And Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam so proudly described Sri Mahasannidhanam as Swamin is an incredible special person. He has mastered the Vedas and Shastras even before taking him to sannyasa. I have chosen a very competent guru to guide you all. He is a remarkable person. So, the first of the 11 attributes, Matruta Pituda Shuddha. It is the first attribute, born in a good family and to pious parents, leading him to this. And now Acharya narrates the 3 divine qualities or attributes required for somebody to become a Mahapurusha. Shuddha Bhava, purity in thought. What do you mean by purity in thought? Purity in thought, purity in words, purity in deeds. Anything you utter, you say is pure. There is no impurity mixed to it. It's everything that displays is sans impurity, and that is purity. And cites 2 interesting examples. When Sri Sannidhanam went to Mahasannidhanam after his Sishya Shvikaram to say, what should I, when Acharya said you should do Chandramaulishwara Puja. So Sannidhanam asked Mahasannidhanam, what should I pray as a sankalpa? For which Sri Mahasannidhanam guided, you have to pay only for yoga, bestowing what is required, and Shema, protecting what has been acquired for the welfare of all beings. And this is the prayer you will have to do not only during Chandramaulishwara Puja. Every puja you do should have one and only this sankalpa. Whether it's a Kumbhabhishekam or it's any other ritual or a yajna or a homa. And this was the divine direction given by Vidyaranya Maharaj 800 years ago. One of the 5 important directions when he exited Sringeri to go to Virupaksha temple, he said, any prayer here by the Peetam should only be for the welfare of the world and nothing else. And the second example is even more interesting, very important for us to record it, because Mahasannidhanam asked Sannidhanam to draw an yantra. And Sannidhanam drew the yantra and went and presented it to Sri Mahasannidhanam. See, yantra will have lotus And lotus will have petals. And on each petal, you write one of the syllable of a mantra. And then it becomes a yantra. Now, when Acharya presented it, Acharya found that the petals were facing inwards. Sri Mahasannidhanam conveyed to Sri Sannidhanam, one needs to draw a yantra facing inwards only if you want to conquer your enemies. Shuddha Bhavam. Mahasannidhanam says, we don't have foes, we don't have any enmity with anybody. Therefore, draw the yantra where the petals show outward. And if you pray, then it becomes a universal prayer for the welfare of one and all. This Peetham and its Jagadgurus, known for their purity, they remain pure because they are selfless. They remain pure because they don't consider anyone as an enemy. You do the worst of things against them, still remain silent. Because it is nature which will take care. Reaction you can't expect from the Peethadipati. You can't provoke. Could you have provoked Bhagavan Krishna in Mahabharata? Did Bhagavan Krishna got provoked ever? Except once with Ashwatthama. Never got provoked. With a cunning crook like Sakuni and an arrogant king like Duryodhana. He managed them, smiling all the way. Never reactive. So, do anything. They are not going to react. And as scriptures clearly say, provocation leads to a sin. And any residual sins in them, if at all, will only get easily transferred to the person who provokes. As praying to a Mahapurusha gains his punya, acting against the interest of a Mahapurusha will have the reverse consequences. You can't avoid it. And therefore they don't react. Which is yet another symptom or quality of Shuddha Bhava. Then comes Jitendriya, controlling over the senses. And Acharya cites the common example which is known to all of us from the Kathopanishad. Unless a good vehicle is driven properly by a driver, the passenger sitting in the vehicle cannot reach the required destination. If the vehicle is bad or the driver is not of a proper quality, then you will not end up in the right destination. You will go wayward. And therefore, Acharya says, why should one have this quality of sense control? He puts 3 steps, very important. Contemplation of Brahman is not possible without sense control. See, we can attend any number of classes. Learning, hearing itself will do a lot of good things to us. But formative and experiential approach, you can get it only when you serve a guru. Otherwise, it will only remain in textbooks. And you will only gain knowledge about it, not the experience part of it. So, contemplation of Brahman is possible only when you do self-control. And without contemplation, one cannot attain knowledge. And without knowledge, one cannot attain moksha. So, sense control is paramount. And explains it in 5 parts. Construe the jiva to be the passenger. Construe the body to be the chariot. Construe the buddhi to be the charioteer. Construe the mind to be the reins. And construe the horses to be the senses. Shuddha Bhava and Jitendriya. Unless the buddhi is pure, you can't have a steady buddhi. Unless buddhi is pure, it can't control the mind. And unless you control the mind, you cannot control the senses. A charioteer, if he is reckless, can he hold the reins properly? And if he doesn't hold the reins properly, can he control the horses to take it to the desired destination? Not possible. Same is our case. Says. And says Shri Sannidhanam, our Mahasannidhanam is a Jitendra, one who has conquered sense control. Shuddha Bhavaga Jitendra. Then Sarvagamanam Saragya, one who knows Itikas, Puranas, any text, name it, he is the ultimate authority to clarify. That is one of the conditions imposed by Bhagavad Shankara for every Pitadipati. This Pitam should be the final authority on any doubt on Shastras and Vedas, or on Puranas, or Idikasas, or rituals, or Mimams, anything. On Vyakarna, Jyotish, anything. This Pita should be the authority. But the Pitadipati should also be equally compassionate. That's the second quality which is needed. So, when it comes to Itikasas, Acharya says, Shri Mahasannidhanam is an authority. See the Anugraha Bhashanams of our Acharyas. We would have heard Ramayana several times through several people. Please take that multifaceted Jivan Bhukta book. There are 3-4 instances quoted from Ramayana by Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. Completely unique. Completely unique. You would not have heard it in the regular pravachana. And the way Shri Sannidhanam interlaces Puranas with Vedic scriptures in his Anugraha Bhashanas, stunning. So unless one is an authority on this, you can't be a Mahapurusha, says our scriptures. So these are the 4 rich attributes of the 11 which is now being portrayed in the process of his becoming a Sishya of this Pitam. Because this Sishya should now become an illustrious disciple, not an ordinary disciple. And how does he become an illustrious disciple? Because he is endowed with all these 4 qualities. And Acharya says, what a Sishya Swamigal of this Pitam, how do they meditate on their Guru? There is an instance reported in this book. One of the requirements for a Sishya Swamigal is 24/7 they should be in their remembrance of their Acharya, their senior Guru. 24/7. That's the requirement by scriptures. Unless you are in contemplative mood of your Guru 24/7, you can't secure the divine grace of your Guru. And therefore, one of the devotees asked, casually, Acharya was in the Narsimhavanam. Shri Mahasannidhanam was in the Narsimhavanam. So somebody asked, can you now tell me where your Guru is? Out came the reply. Yes, he is talking to the disciple, but at the same time giving him the answer. Yes. Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam is now coming out of the Sharada temple. This is the connect. You keep remembering. In fact, somebody reported one in Shri Sannidhanam had gone to some camp and he went on a hillock and performed Abhishekam to Bhagavad Shankara's Vigraha and found the place to be extremely serene. And just casually told the mutt staffs, all of you can go, let me remain here and meditate. So somebody has asked him, there is no water, there is no food, how will you stand? For which Shri Sannidhanam has replied, the smaranai of Shri Mahasannidhanam is the food, fuel and everything to me. I don't need anything else. This Divya Smaranai makes an illustrious disciple of this Pitam into a Pitadipati, which this episode narrated indicates how Sri Mahasannidhanam was in constant remembrance of his Guru. Next important incident is, it is always one perplexing question for Sishyas. When a Sishya Swamigal is inducted, there is always a doubt whether we should go and offer our prayer to the senior Jagadguru or to the Sishya Swamigal. So, 3-4 instances are reported here. Press people, reporters interviewed both Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam and Mahasannidhanam at different points of time. Asked the same questions. The reply was the same, in fact, in the same language, same words. And the press reporters came back and said, it would have been sufficient had we interviewed one instead of talking to both of them, because the answers are the same. When somebody wanted to build a huge institution, Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam said, I will bless you with this amount. They go and meet Sri Mahasannidhanam later. Acharya says, I will also bless you with the same amount. Both have not met each other and spoken to each other. A Sishya goes and requests to Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, I need Guru Padukas. So Acharya asks him a question, are you doing Nitya Puja? Are you doing your Nitya Anushtanas? Yes, I am doing my Nitya Anushtanas. So let me first give you a mantra. So Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam initiates mantra to him. After the Videha Mukti of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, the Sishya goes to Sri Mahasannidhanam, mentally praying for a Paduka, and goes near Sri Mahasannidhanam, says, I pray for Padukas. Sri Mahasannidhanam replies, yes, you are doing your Nitya Anushtanam. You have been initiated in a mantra, and therefore time is ripe enough for you to get the Padukas. We will give you the Padukas. One have not met with the other to discuss this. See, this has been happening repeatedly in this Peetam. Every successive Acharya, if you want to know the Tejur Subramanya Shastrigal's episode, he wanted Panchadashakshari to be initiated by Sachidananda Shiva Narasimha Bharati Swamigal, the 33rd Acharya. But Acharya promised him and blessed him only with Navakshari and said, in my next body, I will initiate you into that. And moves away. After almost 20 years, when Shastrigal comes to Sringeri and prostrates before Jagadguru Srimad Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal, Acharya says, yes, I will initiate you into Panchadashakshari. Both have not physically met at all. All of us know history. Before Acharya could come to the Peetam, 33rd Acharya had already attained Videha Mukti. There is no difference between one Acharya and the other Acharya. It's like lighting two jyotis. We all have two jyotis in our houses. Once you light both of them, walk back and fall and prostrate to worship, can you see a distinction between one jyoti and another jyoti? They will look only alike. Can there be a difference? All that you can say is one was lit a few seconds earlier, the other was lit a few seconds later, if at all there is a distinction. So Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam came to the Peetam in 1931, Sri Mahasannidhanam came in 1974. That difference you can say. So Acharya started to show that he is an illustrious disciple in every sense of the term. And when all this was happening, the inevitable climax happened in the history of Sringeri Mutt. Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam had attained Videha Mukti on 21st September 1989. And a few instances before that needs to be captured. Sri Mahasannidhanam had already gone on a Vijayatra. So Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam did his last tour to Kalati. So one of the disciples accompanied him from Bangalore, accompanied him for a while. Then took leave of him, took the mantrakshatai and left him. Soon a messenger came and said, Acharya wants to see you. He said, why don't you travel with me to the next location? I would like to talk to you. And we are not sure whether we'll meet again. Indication. He reaches Kalati. A disciple from Chennai goes and says, this time somehow I have managed time to come here. I want to have your darshanam. Have as much as possible you want. Because we don't know whether we will meet again. On 21st September 1989, morning at 5:30, one of his Prathama Sishyas in Chennai, you can guess who it is, I don't have to say. Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam came in his dream and indicated, henceforth you will receive prasadam from Shri Shri Mahasannidhanam. 5:30 in the morning on 21st September 1989. And at 11:30, Acharya departs and attains Videha Mukti. We should narrate a couple of instances about Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam and its experiences now, before we go into the last segment of today's talk of Coronation. These instances came to light a little later after the publication of the multifaceted Jivan Mukta. So these instances are not found there. We had a chance to write about 130 episodes in 2019 on all the Acharyas. So some of the friends gathered these episodes which happened in the lifetime of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. One such is, every Acharya of this Peetham has given a very, very important guideline for the Sishyas. What you do, you should forget immediately. What somebody does to you, you should remember it for life. This is the essence of gratitude. For every sin, there is a redemption. Every sin there is a redemption, but not for ingratitude. Ingratitude cannot be redeemed. It has to be suffered. So, S.G. Narasimhayya, one of the Sishyas of this mutt, who had served Jagadguru Srimad Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal as his secretary. He was 91 years old and he was in Bangalore. One fine day, Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam was camping in Bangalore. The man is 91 years old. He was in his daughter's house. He was not well. So the daughter refused to leave her father back to his home. She said, you have to stay put only with me. He said, no, I'm going back. So he went to his house and he slept because he was sick. Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, after finishing some house visits, informed the mutt that you should drive the vehicle to Narasimha's house. They were clueless which road, which house. Acharya guided them. This is the house, and reached that location. Ganapati Subramanya Avadanigal goes and wakes up. He's sleeping because he's 91 years old. Wakes him up from sleep. And that, see, it will take a few seconds for a 90-year-old man to negotiate what is happening to him. Suddenly, he sees Ganapati Subramanya Avadanigal and says, what is the problem? No. Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam is just stepping into your house. Wake up. The man is searching frantically for a Purna Kumbham. Surprise visit. Surprise gesture. He's frantically searching. Acharya enters. He falls at his feet and profusely cries, saying, I am so unprepared. Oh, what are you saying? You have done your job to the Peetham, enough and more. You have served our Acharya. You have done certain tasks ordained to you in the Shivaganga Mutt. I just came only to bless you because I heard you are sick, and left the place. This karunyam, this happened for Jnananda Bharat also. He took Sri Mahasannidhanam all the way to Vannadi Mangalam and said, I've come here to show my Sishya Swamigal to you for all that he has done. It happened in February 1975. Swamigal attained Samadhi in April 1975, within 2 months. So, gratitude. Second incident is, those were times where women had their own constraints to resist marriage proposals if families otherwise have agreed. Those, they're talking of history. So, here is this lady spoke to me from US and said, I'm reading your episodes, I want this to be kindly recorded, how Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam has graced in my life. I want this to be written. She spoke to us from US. She was in a state of flux because she made her own inquiries about that boy and came to know that he is not a good person. But the families are known and the boy is well off, and therefore 30, 40 years back, what would have been the priorities? So he said, all known family, known person, so you should get married. So there was so much of coercion on the girl to virtually, she wanted to actually read and definitely not marry this man. So they all come for a darshanam to Sringeri. All that she prayed in her mind as she was passing through the darshanam was, you are my refuge. I can't speak in my family. They are not going to listen to me. I don't know whether this is good or bad. If you give me an apple prasadam, I will take it as a good sign. If you give me an orange prasadam, I will say that you are rejecting this proposal. In which case, you will have to help me and bail me out. This was the deal. Prayer. She said this as she spoke. So she said, I was in the... no, not a word uttered, because you can't go and speak when family is all around and they are all coming there to convey that we have found out a match, we are going to get... So they are going to talk a different story. So she's waiting. Acharya looked at her with so much of compassion. Ni shemama irpadi, gave an orange. And the marriage did not materialize. And in fact, she told that the person died soon in a road accident. And she is well settled, so happy, and leading a very, very nice, smooth life. Now coming to the third incident. Somebody visits Sringeri, goes back to Mumbai. A telegram is received in the house and the father receives the telegram, which conveys the message they should come back to Sringeri immediately. The father was a bit confused because, of course, they can go to Sringeri and come back, but his wife, the man's mother's ceremony needs to be performed. So he was slightly selfish. By this, will this get anyway disturbed? So he didn't discuss this telegram at all in the house. He just kept it to himself. Same evening, one more telegram comes. Second telegram. Requesting, and this was received by the wife. Both of them, with their young child, rushed to Sringeri by flight. Reached and went for the darshanam of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. They were engrossed in a very detailed discussion. The boy gave a slip. Both of them are standing. Suddenly the boy is not there. He slowly walked and he reached Tunga. Those days it was a wooden bridge. He started to pedal his legs and slipped into Tunga. And Pandits were performing evening Sandhya Vandana at that time. One of them, this boy hit one of them and he pulled him out. Meanwhile, father is frantically searching where his son is. The boy is retrieved, brought to the night Chandramauliswara Puja, and on his own volition, he starts to render syllables of Rudra. Jeshta Mahasannidhanam, blessed. This is a rebirth. I'm happy you responded to the telegram and came to Sringeri. Perform the Upanayanam as early as possible to the child. The fourth instance will show the yogic power of our Jeshta Mahasannidhanam, who is known as a yogi by yogi par excellence. And yesterday we were narrating episodes on the 32nd Acharya, 33rd Acharya, 34th Acharya after their Videha Mukti. I reserved this episode for today. This is again an episode which happened to a Sishya after the Videha Mukti of Jeshta Mahasannidhanam. They are all with us all the time, ready to rush and help us and guide us. We should qualify ourselves to that standards. Somebody, a young engineer, was selected in a team to represent his company to London for a presentation and an exhibition in a trade fair. It's an important exhibition. He was selected much against the wish of his boss. Natural. It happens, very common. He underwent a surgery in his back and with a lot of pain reached Sringeri. And offered himself before Shri Mahasannidhanam, took the mantrakshati to say, I'm going to London for this. And he reported to us. The Acharya smiled at him for a while, did not speak anything, smiled at him for a while and gave him mantrakshati. And the smile revealed the rest of the story later. So when the team reached London, the team manager, the boss and two of them decided to pull him out. So we should somehow discredit this fellow so that we can write a report on our way back that you have sent an unworthy candidate along with the team. That was the game plan by the rest of the team. So they made some complication in the circuits the previous evening and came and sat in the dining table in the night and informed them, look here, we have done our best, but the circuits are all not in order. You can go tomorrow morning and try your luck and see what you can do. And if you can perform well in the exhibition, well, let's do, well, you try yourself. They were so casual. The man could very easily guess that this is all some pre-arranged mishap which they have planned. He said, okay, what am I to do? Let me go and try tomorrow morning. So he goes to sleep that night, 3 o'clock. He's woken up by Jeshta Mahasannidhanam. It's so cold in London at that time. He steps out, takes a metro, reaches the office, shows his ID, enters the place and says, I just didn't know what I did for 1 hour. Here and there I started to shuffle the circuits. After 1 hour, everything became all right and it started to function. Middle of the night. And he says, visibly I was woken up, only by Acharya. And I'm new to London, I have not gone anywhere earlier. Take a metro, reach, go to the office and finish the work and come back and sleep. So next day morning at the breakfast table, when those 3 guys came, thinking that we can kick this fellow out once and for all, this guy responded very casually, yeah, have you not gone there? No. Let's finish breakfast. Let's see what we can do. See, you have done something, you will have to help me. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, it works. Let's go and try there. To their surprise, It was one of the best presentations in the exhibition. And this man was duly rewarded for his work. We can keep multiplying as many instances as possible. I will reserve one finally after the coronation, and we'll complete it in the next 15 minutes. So, Acharya attained Videha Mukti on 21st September 1989, and the rituals got completed on 4th October 1989. And on 19/10/1989, the Pitarohanam of Shri Mahasannidhanam took place in Sringeri. It was such a grand celebration. The entire footpath from Narasimhavana to Vidyashankara temple was decked with flowers. You should just recollect how it would be. That's why these books are written. So Acharya walks majestically in a silk robe, and a coronation ceremony is performed, preceding which puja is performed to the Simhasanam. After the coronation, in the evening, an Anugraha Bhashanam is given by Acharya, followed by an Adda Pallaki. Returning back to the Sharada temple, then a Mangala Harati is taken. Acharya is seated in the Simhasanam, watching Mata Sharada straight, and the day ends. So Acharya in the Anugraha Bhashanam conveys a very, very important message. Two questions will throb any Sishya's mind. A coronation for a sannyasi, and wearing silk robes by a sannyasi. How has this practice become part of the Sringeri mud culture? Shri Mahasannidhanam explains it. Look here. Till the 11th Acharya, this does not happen. This has not happened in the history of Sringeri Mutt. When Jagadguru Srimad Vidyaranya Mahaswamigal established the Vijayanagara Samrajya, Harihara and Bukka brought the royal insignia and placed it at the lotus feet and prayed, "We will do Raja Paripalanam. Henceforth, you will do Dharma Paripalanam. And we request you to adorn this on these important occasions, including Navaratri." It is placing the royal insignia as an offering at the lotus feet of the Jagadgurus of Sringeri Sharada Peetham. And a request was made that this should be adorned. Acharya clarified in the Anugraha Bhashanam, Vidyaranya Maharaj did not ask for this, nor any of the Acharyas sought for this, nor hinted or suggested that this should be done this way. It was an offering of the royal insignia. Therefore, this royalty, the royal insignia and its conference and its influence on the mutt is only because of a prayer requested by a Sishya who happened to be the king of Vijayanagara Empire. Only to please them. And it was an assurance given to them that this shall be adorned. A young mind will still try to probe an answer. See, this is something which will be acceptable to us for our age. A young mind will probe and say, after all, when you adorn such a jewelry, such a robe, such a krida, will you not feel very elated? And why should a sannyasi do it? A question can come. And those young minds, we wish to only clarify this to you all. What are the mistake we are doing in the process? The mistake we do is, this is what happens in Vedanta Vichara also, says Acharya in one of the Anugraha Bhashanas. We as human beings, when there is a new acquisition, whether it is a house or whether it is some other asset, whether it is monetary benefit or wearing a new jewelry or wearing a new silk saree or wearing a new clothes, a human mind will be attracted to find an elation as part of that process. For a human mind, it is but natural that they will feel very happy. They will feel very elated. Now, what are we doing? We are applying our human perception. So, the mistake a young mind is doing is only this: what it feels, what it thinks, it also assumes Acharya will also be in the same frame of mind and perception. That's the mistake. That's the simple holistic mistake. When the staff of the mutts adorned Jagadguru Srimad Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal with such one of the Navaratris, they put it on the reverse side. The silk going inside, non-silk on the outer. See, when silk comes into contact with your body, you can understand how irritating it would be. So, they didn't realize it when it was adorned. When they pulled it out after the darbar was over, they were shocked to see that they have adorned it this way to the Swamigal. So, they all fell at his feet to prostrate and say, we have made a big mistake. I don't know how this would have cost you problems. Acharya replied, இதை போட்டிருக்கிறேன்னு ஸ்மரணை இருந்தால் தானேப்பா இது வலிக்கிறதா வலிக்கிறலையான்னு தெரியும். I must have the ஸ்மரணை first that this is being adorned on me. Then for me to respond whether it irritated me or it did not irritate me. I don't have the smarana at all. You adorned it on me, I adorned it. You took it out of me, you took it out of me. And just ask those young minds one question. See the frame of mind of Acharya before that. See the frame of mind of Acharya sitting in darbar. And see the frame of mind of Acharya immediately after the darbar as they enter the Sharada shrine and comes out. Do you see any difference? See, when you ask a question, the question should be from a neutral state of mind. Then we can clarify. If you raise a question with prejudice, if you raise a question with your own perception, with your own conception, and you want a derivative answer your way, you will never get the right answer because it's not a right question. You will get wrong answers if you pose wrong questions. Simple. So, the test is your neutrality. If you ask, what will be their frame of mind? We can clarify you. You substitute your frame of mind as Acharya's frame of mind and say, when I will feel this way, Acharya should also be feel. Then why should Acharya wear it? Is the question which is posed by a young mind. The error lies there. And the conceptual clarification was given in this Anugraha Bhashanam in 1989 on 19th October. This is a compulsion to be satisfied for the sake of a Sishya. And you know the Divya Sambandham between Vijayanagara Samrajya and Sringeri Mutt. It survived for 350 years and 13 generations. In 1931, Acharya comes to the Peetham. In 1936, he establishes the empire. And it's of historical significance for this nation. When such a request is made by such a king, and this is being uniformly followed from Acharya after Acharya after Acharya for 800 years. And see the case of Shri Mahasannidhanam. First darbar he accompanied with Shri Sannidhanam. Next darbar he said, chose to seclude himself, waiting to pass the baton. So, it is this royal coronation which is nothing but a spiritual upliftment in terms of taking the Peethadhipatyam. Let's remember what Bhagavad Pada Shankara had told Sureshwaracharya. Every Peethadhipati should maintain his sannyasa dharmam. Parivrajaka dharmam, no compromise. Yet he has to be a Peethadipati for the welfare of the world, because I've asked you to sit on an Amnaya Peetham, to run it for the sake of Sanatana Dharma. For the run is for the sake of the people who live at that point of time, who should get the same flawless advice which people I gave it in, say, 1230 years back. Same set of advice, same set of guidance should be available to the present generation. And therefore we have created you. So it is this Peetharohanam which made Acharya the 36th Jagadguru of this great Sringeri Sharda Peetham. I promised you with one final episode with which we'll wind it up. Two Sishyas called when we wrote this episode. This happened between June 1989 and September 1989. Two sisters came for darshanam of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, and it was that lady's wedding day. So the elder sister was telling the younger sister, it's time that you should pray for a Paduka. So the younger sister was saying, I'm still not prepared, because you need to maintain several purity standards at home. So unless I'm ready to observe all of this, I don't have the courage to go and ask Acharya. So these two, it was at that time in Sachidananda Vilas. So Acharya could have easily found out. So this conversation happening between the two sisters was watched quietly by Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam. And when they went near for darshanam, he said, what were you talking about? So the elder sister said, I suggested her that she should pray for a Padukas. Yes, yes. I will give you holy Padukas. She deserves it. I'll give you holy Padukas. Wait, let the darshanam get complete. And the lady was given a pair of Padukas, which the elder sister and later her mother found out this was the Paduka offered by the elder sister to Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam some years back, which has come to them as a prasadam. So the younger sister thought, we should now offer one more set of holy Padukas to Acharya. So one Narayana Asarya, this is the name when she spoke over phone narrating the incident. I don't know whether he's still alive or not. He will take a lot of time to do. So things won't happen so easily at all with him, it seems. So the mother virtually pestered, sat in that carpentry shop, I think, and ensured that the Padukas are ready by September, few days before the Videhamukti. So the younger sister could not join, so the mother and the elder sister went for the prayer. They waited, and when their turn came, offered this Padukas at the lotus feet of Jyeshta Mahasannidhanam, Jagadguru Srimad Abhinav Vidyatita Mahaswamigal. Acharya slipped into it, set his holy foot, took it out and said, all right, you take it. Then the mother said, no, we have come to offer this Padukas to you. Oh, is it so? Then allows his holy feet to enter the Padukas, stands on it. Idi enakeva? Is this for me? The mother and the sister says, yes, it is for you. Appa nane vechukunuma, which means, should I keep it to myself? Walks 5 feet, turns around and sees the mother and the child and the sister and says, this will always be with me, and goes inside. After Acharya attains Videhamukti, when Shri Mahasannidhanam asked the staff to bring a holy Padukas to be placed at the Adhishthanam, they took these Padukas to the Adhishthanam. In fact, human mind, it prompted me to ask a question, how do you say that this is the same Paduka? For which the mother and the sister replied, this is made out of jackfruit tree, slightly yellowish in color, and we could see it. And therefore we were certain that this is only the same Paduka. After all, Jeshta Mahasannidhanam has promised, இது எப்போது என்னோட இருக்கும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கார். So his words have to come true, and therefore we believe it is the same Paduka. So, in this mood, let's offer our obeisance for the Divya Jananam of Shri Mahasannidhanam, and millions of Sishyas would have benefited out of him. One such Sishya is the speaker, and we have travelled up to his Sishya Shvika, up to his Pita Rohanam. The third talk tomorrow is going to be on his Shastric abilities. Why is Shri Mahasannidhanam revered as Pandita Rajaguru? And how Maha Vidwans, Upadhyayas richly praise and attribute glory on Shri Mahasannidhanam. Let's see all of this tomorrow. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. Pranams to all.